Hello and welcome to Blossom and Grow with Faith. Today I'm just going to talk about emotions, and one of these emotions is what I'm going to emphasize on, and this emotion is just showing grief, or rather crying. Crying can be an emotion that shows happiness, that shows pain, that shows wailing. I can tell you sometimes it shows that indeed you are in the moment and you're working. Oh, Jesus. And there are a lot of things that comes and goes and surrounds tears. But the best thing that I can say you will be able to just reap from you just releasing your emotions through crying, yes, or rather shedding tears, that is relief. It is like you are unburdening things from, or rather offloading things from a truck, and I can tell you, you are the truck. Sometimes when you're holding for a long time, or rather distance, I can say, for example, these trailers that we usually see on our roads, because they may be transporting goods from the port in Mombasa, maybe heading to Congo via the border around here, maybe in Busia, they go maybe the border in Malaba, sometimes they can take to Tanzania. Those long distance vehicles, it reaches a time now it is tired, but when it is offloaded, I can tell you that vehicle runs, or rather moves. It is like shoo, it is gone. So I'm here just to all this is to introduce why you should unload, offload, release, share your emotions through the tears. Oh, they say there is an article I read somewhere that when you cry, your eyelashes grow. So for the ladies, I don't know, because we usually want the long eyelashes. So I don't know, but for the men, sometimes they're like, when you cry, it shows weakness. I'm here to encourage you that your tears, they don't show weakness, but rather they show that you are a warrior that have been battling, and now it is time to rest. You need to rest. You need this rest. You need to relieve yourself of the pain. The way I'm talking like this, because I understand when it comes to happiness, I find myself, I'm emotional. I'll cry. But it depends also. And when also I'm like, I'm void of any emotion, I don't know what to do, I'll just cry. And by doing so, I find relief in everything. And then sometimes I find myself in pain. I'm like, I'm not going to hold this pain. I'm going to release it, and I release it. Sometimes I find myself, maybe I was angry, I wanted to react, and then I just hold everything all together. I just said, today, lady, you're not going to react like that, because this is, you should not be angry, and then react, and then make this bigger scene, and then things turn sour. We're not going there, I'm like that. So I find myself when I return home, when the day was overwhelming, every emotion now comes in, and I'm like, oh my God, have mercy on me. I'm crying. And there is this grief. You've lost a loved one. You've lost something good, pressure that you desired, rather your dream. I remember there was this letter that got declined from this institution that I had applied to. I was shortlisted. That is the funniest thing. I was also on the Gazette, only for me not to find my name when they went to that institution, and it is overwhelming. At first it hit me like boom, okay, it is normal. Then at night I was asking myself, why did this happen now? Why now? I don't know why this happened. I remember crying. I cried so much. Sometimes when my dreams are not met, I find myself overwhelmed, And for me to be able to control everything, I shed tears. And I was like, there's some people. I had a friend, now she's late, that was back in high school, back in primary. Back in primary, she was this lady. She was beautiful, and she had my goodness, there is this disease, I don't know the name, but she used to be attacked by Caesars. Is it Caesars? Oh my god. Yeah, she used to just receive some attacks and then fall, and then it was like that. And then I remember when she was waking up, and I was the only person around sometimes, because every other person was laughing, because usually before she wakes up, she could just urinate, and then people are laughing. And then at that moment, I was like, my friend is in pain, my friend is not feeling well. I was also not feeling well. And then with her crying together, I realized that sometimes it came, she was now comforting me. She's like, no, don't worry, it is just things that happen. Though she'll feel embarrassed at the point, but now she died. May God rest her soul in eternal peace. You see, I'm emotional. I'm like, wow, that hit enough. Memories, sometimes good memories, bad memories, they make us cry. Sometimes when you find yourself, you don't know what to do, you find yourself crying. Sometimes you find yourself, you don't know where to start, what to say. You're like, good afternoon, everyone. And then you're like, because when you reflect everything that happened before you found yourself, Jesus. I usually see people also cry in weddings. It is emotional, and I usually love it. I usually find myself also crying. Usually when the vows are being read, I usually run sometimes to avoid shedding tears. I mean, maybe I'm the bridesmaid and then I'm crying. Oh God. But usually it is good to release your tears. So, all that being said, I have 6 reasons why crying is important. I've talked about a situation where you find yourself cry, when emotions are void, when you find yourself in that rock bottom, things are not working. Cry yourself. Sometimes just isolate yourself, go somewhere, scream. Scream. And then breathe in. Woo, breathe out. You release everything, you remain new. You move like the truck that was talking about, the transit good trailers. They are like, after all those sacks of maize, or rather of cement, are off, that vehicle can move. That vehicle can move. You're like, da, whoo, it is gone. Anyway, number 1, crying is important because it shows you need help and can lead to you getting help. This is deep. When you cry, maybe in hospital, they know, I think this sickness is serious. Maybe as a kid, when that kid cries, the mom immediately knows she or he is hungry, she or he is sick, she or he is not feeling comfortable. This person needs help. Yeah? And also, sometimes we need just a shoulder to lean on. And there was this song that came in my mind another time when I was in those seasons, It was like, in the midst of everything, that when void is void and nothing seems to be valid, Lord, oh Lord, I pray that may I find a place to lean on. May I find a place to lean on. And I know that in your throne I will be able to be able to be released of every pain. As you say, Jesus, then let all your cares and troubles to you, that we should carry them to you, and you are going to make us free. Anyway, another one just came just shipped it. But anyway, that song is like, in the midst of void, in the midst of like things, and all things are in vain, may I be able to find a place in the throne to be able to rest, because Jesus said that, come ye all who are tired, carrying loads and cares of all other places, that you may find rest. And I can encourage you, you will find rest. Cry to the Lord, wail to him. He is your helper, he is your guide. And number 2, why you should cry, or rather, importance of crying. It results in emotional connection through empathy, as I had talked about, my friend. When we cried together, we just had this connection, Yeah, we had that connection together. And it was a bit, when she died, I was like, okay, wait. It was the way it was. But sometimes I find myself now thinking, when I meet maybe, usually meet her cousins. I saw her mother the other day when I just visited the place, my village. I was like, wow, things can really move, things can really change. And then I can tell you, sometimes when you talk with your partner, your friend, and you well together, you're bonding, your emotions are coming together, interact. I'm just imagining, oh my goodness, God answers prayers. One day he's going to answer my prayer, so that I may be able to find my Boaz. I'm not looking for my Boaz. May my Boaz locate me in the name of Jesus. Anyway, number 3, it indicates, I have my notes here, it indicates feeling of sympathy for someone. When you cry with a person who is bereaved, it shows sympathy. When you cry with someone who is in pain, it shows sympathy. When you cry with someone who needs help, someone who is overwhelmed, someone who needs a shoulder to lean on, it shows sympathy. And number 4, it leads to stress relief and unloading of all the troublesome emotions. I can tell you, we usually have these troublesome emotions. And stress, I can tell you, stress, it is not a joke. And when you find yourself depressed, this is depression. You're depressed. You're in a point where you don't know what to do. You're like, you really want to leave everything. You want to cry? No. Then you're like, I should not cry. You sabotage yourself. Release those emotions. Cry. Sometimes cry alone. And I believe when you cry alone, you become more stronger alone. There was a time in the Garden of Gethsemane that Jesus was praying and crying, and the sweat was coming like the drops of blood. And we also see Jesus crying from the book of John chapter 35 verse 11. My goodness, I should not forget that verse. Jesus wept. Is it John chapter 11 verse 35 or John 35 11? Hey, Jesus. Whew. I need to remind myself these things. I need to remind myself this thing. I think I forgot to cry somewhere. Jesus wept. This is when his friend Lazarus is dead. My goodness. He wept. And you go, I happened to go to this funeral. It was just around the village. I mean, people are there to mock. to mock the children, to mock the wife of the bereaved. They're like, this man here was the biggest thief, the biggest, all those names. And finally, he's dead. I'm like, oh my God. The children are crying. The children were still young. And I was so much in pain. I remember just telling myself in my head that one day when I'm able to just have the way to show love, to just to know the way to show the love of Christ, to show it unconditionally just as Jesus did, I think I'll be able to do much. Sometimes you're like, you want to, but you can't do it. But I believe one day we're still moving on that section, and one day I'll be there. And number 5, it can lead to bonding between a child and the parent. By the way, you're like, baby Jesus, I love you. You are my savior every day. La la toto la la, la la toto la la. Mama nakuja la la, akupe maziwa la la. Mary mtoto mzuri, Mary mtoto mzuri. Sasa acha kulia. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you see those songs, sometimes I'm like, I find myself, there was a day my mom sent me to just cool my sister down and help her to sleep. I found myself sleeping because I was like, la la tutu la, and I was so tired, and then I slept. Oh my God. Anyway, that being said, we are here to just know crying helps you and your kid to bond. So don't be ashamed to cry as a parent with your kid. The last one, it is healthy for the eyes and can improve your mood. Yeah, healthy for your eyes, as I had said, it clears, because when something hits your eye, the immediate thing you usually do, you cry. It is a cleanser. So don't be afraid to cry. And I can tell you, I have been crying, and I will continue crying, not because I cry because of pain, because of things, but I cry because I know the importance of crying. I know importance of showing emotions. And don't be afraid. In Blossom and Grow with Faith, we're here to be able to just change our outlook, improve our esteem, and your esteem at a point it will be hit like this, hit, and then you find yourself, you don't know what to do. Cry because of your past self, that you're going to ensure that with all the trouble that it had caused, they're going to go away. And then start smiling because of the new face, the new you, the new self that is going to come out, to pop out of yourself. Thank you so much for watching Blossom and Grow with Faith. Remember to subscribe to this channel, share, and also comment. Follow me also on my Instagram handle at faithharriet_. Not forgetting my TikTok at faithharriet_. And I hope also on my Twitter at faithharriet_. And it is a bye-bye for now. Until next time, keep your smile,